22, and we're here now joined by Sniperwave, who you've seen earlier during the interview. He's about to show us how Wario Land 4 is done. So I'm guessing you're going to collect a few treasures here and there, Sniper. Show us.
For Wumbo, you know, things happen. But yeah, we're just gonna get along because I feel like we're being a bit behind. So, Tech, are you ready for a countdown? All right. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, meme. So the first thing we do is soft reset the game because we don't really like cutscenes. Secondly, you'll see there that S heart was unlocked. Now, by clearing heart mode, the thumb changes to a crown, which has a shorter animation and saves 4 frames every time. Also, I'm just going to completely disregard this level's existence, and I'll just explain the core mechanics of the game. So it's fairly simple. A to jump, D-pad for movement, B to do a dash attack. And then the R button gives Wario the speed dash. Now, the way Wario's speed works is you have 4 levels of speed, and by holding R, you'll go up in speed slowly, and by releasing it, you'll go down as you would expect, honestly. So the 4th level of speed is what you just saw. It's where you can break the green blocks, and the other one are all just steps of acceleration. Now, speed 3 is really interesting because it is the same speed as speed 4, except you have full control over Wario. So once you reach speed 4, you are only able to do full jumps, and the control you get by doing medium and small hops actually give you a lot of options. Also, I guess you should just mention ground pounds. They have the same system. All right, and here's the switch. So every level has a fold and a pre-fold, and the fold happens once you hit the switch. Some levels will have a reverse, and some will just have a completely different pathway depending. Also, we just reset on the boss door the moment it spawns, because that's when the cutscene starts, and this door will be opened the second time we enter. So this boss's existence can technically be disregarded, so if Grump has anything to plug, he has about a minute.
All right, I do indeed have a few things to plug. Well, for instance, you've seen the prizes that we have available to people donating right now. You can get these prizes. You can enter the prizes for a minimum of 25 euros of donation, and you can go for some really good incentives still, like the Muramasa Fury Mode incentive. And I mean, these plushies, they're made by Rinabo, and they're just amazing. Just donate now, donate for good cause, and I'll throw it back to the Sniper.
I'm really disappointed looking at the Pikmin interview. I expected it to be a bit wider, but you know, we'll just keep that as an aside. So yeah, you saw me soft reset the moment I did the last hit on the boss. That's when it's considered defeated, and there will be a cutscene playing. But you know, like many other speed games, we just like to skip cutscenes. Also, we get our first run killer right here, which is an enemy jump here. So, oh yeah, by the way, that's a quick grab. If Wario has upwards momentum, when running into an enemy, and you jump on the right frame, you don't have an animation on grabbing. So you get to keep your speed as you're holding the enemy. Yeah, this level's pretty straightforward. It's just a bit of platforming. The fold in this one is completely back and forth. So we hit the switch at the end and we go all the way back. I guess I should also explain that there's 4 more passages in the game before we unlock the final one. We do this one first because Sapphire Passage has 2 of the biggest run killers right at the start of the run. That being kind of one of them, we missed the setup, but the backup's pretty fast. So optimally, we would land on the second row of the boxes and we could just go all the way through, but that's a bit unlucky. And this is our first transformation, which is Vampire Wario, which allows us to fly and grab keys right here. So the way levels work in this game, aside from the obvious switch, is you need to collect 4 pieces every level to unlock the boss door, and you need to unlock Keezer and to unlock the next level. And once you have done all that, you get to unlock the bosses, and you just get to go along and have a pretty decent day, decent run hopefully as well. But this one is not that different from the main route. The only thing in this level and its main gimmick is that flying ghost you see over there. He steals your coins, which we don't really care about coins, and he also steals your Keezer, so we try to avoid him as much as possible. Also, you saw me do a B-dash here. Once you initiate a B-dash, you can also make a jump. If you do hit the ceiling, it'll keep your momentum, and it's once the ceiling is low enough, it'll be faster to get max speed off of that comparatively to just running. Also, that guy right there, he will turn you into zombie Wario, meaning you just disregard some walls and just be slow overall. Getting into AN right now. This level is kind of straightforward. There's a few mechanics to it, mainly just the carpet, and we'll be seeing Vampire Wario again. So the carpet's kind of interesting, and you see it right here. The higher you jump, the higher the carpet will go. Also, shoutouts to Mr. Shasta for finding this setup. Just do a quick enemy bounce and get to the other side instead of taking the carpet down below. And since we have a pretty long carpet screen coming up and there's not much to do, Grump, are there any donations?
There is indeed, and you may know this one. It starts off with distant band snares. Hello, Modern Warfare, Warface intervention waveform. It's amazing to finally see you run Wario Land on a marathon. Hope the Sapphire is good and your time at BSG as well. I'm gonna try my best to make it here this Friday. Shoutouts to the people. Go Rock Stage, XOXO, Nandi, aka Tootle. This dono goes to naming Chespin Turtwig, because Turtwig is the best starter. I agree, like it's a good turtle. But thank you so much, Nandi, or Snare16, for this 25 euro donation. I'm guessing that's an in-joke as well.
Yeah, there's a bit of an in-joke in that. Nandi actually produces some music, which is related to the shirt I'm wearing, and Snare16 is used a lot in build-ups for drops and that kind of music. But yeah, if anyone knows Nandi, old BSG runner, did Rayman Free, is pretty good at the game. He's a good guy overall as well. But yeah, that enemy jump there is actually really tough. I'm surprised I got it first try because practice didn't go too well, but you know, marathon luck exists. So the way that enemy jumps work is once they're mid-air, they're still like considered an enemy. You can still jump on them normally, and by messing around with walls, you get to bounce on them in mid-air and get through like those one-tile gaps. Also, you might have noticed some patterns in the way the levels are. So every passage has a theme. So Sapphire Passage has horror. Topaz has a toy or children's activities theme. Emerald is nature, and Ruby is machinery. Sadly, already missed the setup. Hopefully, we'll get the backups. Shame. That was one of the tightest tricks in the game. Not surprised to miss it. Man, this level health management actually gets important. You see the 8 health we have. We want to keep it at 4 once we enter a specific screen, which is the next one. If so, we can do an extra skip that saves about 3 seconds. If not, then, you know, it happens. There's backups for everything in this game. And that's something really nice about learning this game as well. Like, the more you play it, the more you just find your backups. And unlike ILs, where you can just go absolutely ape on all the dumb strats, in runs, it's actually really important to learn how to improvise with bad health or bad patterns. I say bad patterns, but everything is what I would call... oh, my bad about that. It is deterministic, meaning that as long as your patterns are the same and your movements the same, every enemy will behave the same way every single game. Like, there's no RNG involved at all. And there's one point where it's essentially random because you cannot really determine your setup. But that's only 41 frames of RNG. Like, who cares? We'll get to that when we get to that. Also, this is Snowball Wario for a little bit. He's needed to break the ice blocks there. Technically, you don't need to do it anymore, but it's a really tough IL strat that saves 16 frames and loses 20 seconds, so let's not do that. The theme of this level is when health freezes over. So, you know, we had fire on the way there, now it's ice. Hopefully the week here will go the same. It was pretty warm out today. I don't know if anyone else in the audience agrees, but oof. But yeah, another mid-air jump right there. That one's fairly recent. Shoutouts to Becco for finding that. And I guess I should mention Becco, Shasta, and MPU. The current top free runners. They've helped a lot with learning this game overall. There's a lot of strats that people just randomly find as well. Like people like Rezaran, who recently joined, Adlaya that recently joined, and even me when I started getting into the game. And it's really refreshing to just see people randomly join the game. And once you start doing ILs, you have a new set of eyes to look on how levels are developed, and it just creates a really nice atmosphere. But yeah, coming into level 4, we have Hotel Horror. quickly starting off with an enemy jump. Sadly, did not get the setup for quick grab, but you know, we get to keep our momentum for a little bit, get some jumps up the stairs because we don't really like doing the level the normal way. We just like to go all the way in reverse. So in a casual playthrough, you would go the level, the floor 104. We're going to 401 because Geezer's here and it's faster. Also, coming down here, there's not much to say in this level. It's fairly straightforward. It's just jumping, vampire, Wario. We've basically seen it all at this point. So, Grump, if you have a donation, feel free to go.
We do indeed. We have a €10 donation by Professor 9 saying, this game is awesome. Wario Land 5 when? Don't get our hopes up, man.
Honestly, Wario 5 has been released. I think Shake It's original is actually a Wario Land game. So technically, you would call it 5. Shake It's also a very good speedrun, if nobody has checked it out here.
Okay, Wario Land 6 when?
In due time. Gopium. Yeah, quick little switch here. So this switch is interesting. You want to do a B-dash off this switch, but because the switch, when it's done with its animation, goes slightly upwards, if you're still on that switch after, it'll just kill your momentum in your B-dash. But yeah, this is the one real use for Zombie Wario. We get to go down. Once you hit a light, you turn back to normal. Don't ask me how that works. And we're just going to go back the way you were supposed to go originally, because doing it in reverse is faster. It saves like 3 seconds for whatever reason. We have 4 pieces right here. These 2 enemies are just a minor nuisance, if anything. And that's the level. So up next, we have one of the more difficult bosses in the game as of late. There's a really recent strat found for the original task strat that made it sort of RTA viable. And I'm really hoping to hit it, but it's very tough. And I just have to wait and see. Also, get ready for the best sprite in all of the GBA library. This is Catbat. Look at that smile. He's wonderful. Absolute beast. But yeah, the original plan is to hit him off the wave as he spawns it in going back. Luckily, my timing is good, which is not, sadly. You can hit the bat in between. And once you do that, you get to go on this wave. Missed the window, but if the task strat was hit, you would get on the wave. Once he spawns his first ball, you could be able to jump off, do a B-dash, and then hit a frame-perfect dash to hit him in the face. And now I got punished because I greeted a little and jumped too late. But yeah, once those hit you, you become Balloon Wario. Balloon Wario is not the best.
I mean, it's like 1 a.m. This boss is nightmare fuel.
Yeah, this is this Horror Block again?
It is now.
All right.
Thank you for that.
But here's second phase of Catbat. It's just Cat now because Bat's gone. We are just gonna stun lock him, much like the other boss we had back in the day, and I'm just gonna keep counting to 7 because every 7 bounces you get to have another hit, and I really need to reset on the final hit. Counting to 7 is a theme with his bosses, I've realized. There's also Cractus where you just kind of count the flashes and you jump on the 7. But yeah, here's Grump's favorite level. I heard Grumpmeister's a really big fan of this theme, so...
No.
I'm just gonna let him read any donations so he can enjoy the music.
All right, we do indeed have a donation, and sadly, yeah, we do get to enjoy this music. God help me. We have a €25 donation by Fibat saying, "Yo Sniper, miss you, man. Good luck with the Wario," and a heart emoji.
Miss you too, Fi. For those who don't know, I've visited Califon in Santa Barbara in 2019, and Fi was one of the roommates. A very good person, very good runner of various F-Zero games as well. Here's a good case of IL greed. Me jumping a frame late and missing a cycle. That's something you've really noticed once you start doing ILs, is that you really start greeding for those frames. And by doing so, you inadvertently miss it by just that bit as well. Yeah, quick little knocking off of the enemy there. Get the jump on this guy, land the block in the hole as you're supposed to do. These cap blocks, by the way, are also unique to this level. The only difference between regular blocks is that once you re-enter the room, they respawn, which others don't. We'll get that piece as a little later. So the way the fire works is every time you bounce off a wall, you advance 1 stage, and eventually you just become pure fire, and then you get to break that fire block over there. So by having that piece still there, you just get those free bounces faster, and you can just grab it on the way back without losing much time. But here's the fault here. We're just under the toy box right now. We don't really need that one. That's for the CD. Oh yeah, I guess there's CDs in this game. They don't really do anything except unlock karaoke, which we're not going to do because my voice isn't meant for that. Sadly. Maybe it'll be an incentive one day. Who knows, you know? We'll get there when we get there. Okay, let's hope we get this set up as well. There's a few backup setups, but this is just the fastest way to do it. So, I mean, it's just easy. You know, just land it every time. Just don't fail. Smile. Up next, though, we have Big Board, based off of a board game as well. And instead of rolling the dice, you get to have a slots type of block, and that'll advance you X amount of tiles. And there's a very specific pattern we go for, so we might be seeing some very interesting and new backups for this one. And with new, I mean, I haven't seen that before and we'll just improvise. The board will be generated the same way every time, though, so it's not that hard once you've actually learned it. This is also one of the first strats I found right here. You can just do a ground pound down here, get the 6 over here, and keep going. The old strat used to go over, get the piece, and then get the 6 on the block on the left. There's a bit of little trivia here. Also, if you hold A, you get to keep the momentum off of bouncing off an enemy. That's pretty hard to do, but when you hit it, it looks pretty cool. So we're just going to go for some random IL shenanigans, even though I probably shouldn't. Because it's fun. That's what marathons are for. Oh yeah, right, that diamond spawns, it's 1,000 points. We don't really care about 1,000 points. Points are in speed. Here's the switch, and much like any other board game, we're gonna have to go to the end of the board. And that is a very interesting technique to this block. So casually, you might remember that you can't get the number the same time in a row usually. We found a way around that a long time ago by, I think, Becco. So by ground pounding, you gain a little bit of extra momentum. And you can buffer jumps in this game. So by doing both of that and being better at the game, you actually get to keep the same number twice in a row. And we're going to do the same right here. We're just going to improv, get a free here. And we're back on track as we only went one over. We're getting the 6, getting another heart. Getting the 4, they get another heart. We then get the diamond, unless we miss the buffer. And we have to wait another cycle. But you know, it happens. I think it's like a 3 or 4 frame buffer. And we're at the end and we have the teaser. And since we're running all the way back and I'm seeing a little birdie telling me there is a donation, Grump, take it away.
All right, yes, there's indeed a little birdie there. I'm glad that we're actually having some better music again. But we indeed have a €50 donation by Stovix. And that's reading, I love the Wario series. Glad to see this game done so quickly. Love from America. Absolutely. This game is a joy to watch, and thank you so much for that generous donation.
Thank you so much indeed. That's a big donation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we can get some applause for that. Come on.
We can clap.
We can do that. Yeah. So up next is Duda Woods. A bit of a, you know, every child knows how to paint. And we have our good friend Hogges, or as Mr. Shasta has dubbed him, Picasso, because we all love our puns. He'll be drawing 2 enemies in a cycle. The first one being a still, the other one being a plane that goes back and forth. It can usually be ignored. There's only one place where it matters, and that's for the CD. And as we've stated before, we don't really care about CDs. Like, I know I'm wearing a music-themed shirt, but you know, CDs aren't fast. You know that.
Music is a broad definition for your shirt.
Yeah, we'll agree to disagree on that one, friend. Anyway. But yeah, this is where the snow can get in the way. If you're slow enough, he'll spawn it on the platform, you'll get hit. This guy can also get in the way, which luckily it got despawned due to the pencils. We have switch right here. This opens these zigzag gates over here. And up next, we have one of the more interesting folds in the game. There's an IL trick that saves 2 seconds, but it requires 4 different frame-perfect inputs that I'm not going to go for, as I, 1, haven't learned the trick yet, and 2, it's just really difficult to do on a 60 FPS game. Yeah, we're gonna hit these pencils, grab this guy, jump over, because we don't really want to hit the other pencils, and enemy jumps are kind of just really good. Yeah, jumping off this enemy here, doing a bit of jumping, spawning this early by jumping full height, getting on the pencil and getting out that way. And there's Hogges again, once again completely ignored because he's too slow. I'm really hoping to land on this block here so I can go on there instantly, and this is where the enemy spawn mentioned in the interview came in. I think I might have missed it, and we should maybe be fine. All right, we're still good to go. So the setup is to get them both on the left, hit the single pencil, throw the guy up and do an enemy jump off to go over all the way. That saves about 3 seconds, not needing to hit the second pencil right there. And then we're already at the end of the level. And up next is a level that I have some interesting history with, because playing this game casually, this level is fantastic. As a speedrun, however, everything that I'm not too fond of in the run is in this level. So to ignore my frustrations about the level a bit, Grump, are there any donations?
There are indeed, and you're gonna like this one, because we got a €5 donation by Satanic Nerd. Here's €5 for a future karaoke incentive.
Oh no.
And I'm hoping that it will be a duet in that case. That's my addition to it.
Any volunteers?
I would love to see you, Satanic, and you, Sniper, do a song together. A Wario song.
Wolf. Alright, so you're saying we should be doing the Wario instead of the Mario. Understood.
Yes.
But yeah, the main mechanic at this level is, as you've seen the dominoes, it's kind of a speedrun themed level in a way, because you're supposed to outrun the dominoes. But, you know, we're going fast anyway. We don't really need to worry about that. But yeah, this is one where the B-dashing on the ceilings actually start mattering. We can just easily break that, grab the piece, go over. You saw me do a B-dash off the box as well. There's about 4 frames where the box is active, where you can just do a B-dash off. Now, however, if you want to land on the box and the piece is still on, it has an active platform. However, the hitbox of the piece itself is not as wide as the detection of the box. So you can jump off the box without grabbing the piece. And there's places where you cannot go back. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Luckily, it's only 2 to 3 pixels on the outside, but you know, it'll be fine. But yeah, back on the fold here. This one goes around in A way, I guess. So we are going down here, doing the full ground pound. Actually, we shouldn't have. I'm making a mistake there. Fantastic. Anyway, this is where the ground pound is supposed to happen. And this is where we were originally. Now, luckily, we're going to go around the level once again, because over here, we roll back, get the piece here, do another dash. You know, this is just a lot of movement. Oh, also, I haven't even explained that. As always, just a bit hectic. You just get lost in the sauce sometimes. So those blue blocks, they toggle whenever you hit the switch. So if they were on before and you hit the switch, they go off, and vice versa. And that blocks off your path and just forces a new one every now and then, including on this level. Now, you've already seen the keys are floated at the very start, and that forces you the first time you play the level to actually go into this bit. Hopefully get the double ground pound here as well. Sadly, knock them the wrong way, which happens every now and then. You can kind of manipulate the ground pound, but it's not a certainty. And this is the second level where health management also comes into play, because we'll be going to exactly 1 HP, and this is why the estimate's the way it is, because if you die here, you have to do the level all over again. Luckily, there's a lot of setups, there's a lot of backups, and health isn't really an issue anymore here. And that was Domino Roll. And up next, we have a boss I would like to have quiet time for, so Grump, take it away until I'm done.
All right. So I think you have given people quite an idea, because we have a €5 donation by Nandi, and he's saying they're saying like, save this €5 for a future karaoke incentive. So that is going to happen in the future, I hope. And while we're having some quiet time here, I'd also like to point out that while you're donating, you can donate towards some really good incentives. One of them that's coming up in the run after this is going to be Fury Mode for Muramasa Rebirth, 20% Momo Hime. It's currently sitting at 174 euros out of 500, so we still got a ways to go, but I believe that we can get that one met before the run actually starts. Other than that, there will be a Haven 20% good ending bid war, where you can choose to couple gender. So you can choose between female-female, male-male, or male-female. Currently, female-female is in the lead with 10 euros. Another one that's coming up after that is going to be the Phineas and Ferb Ride Again 20% language choice, which currently has German in the lead as language at 29 euros, and Dutch following closely behind at 15 euros. So if you want to change that to like Spanish or Italian or something like that, you know what to donate towards.
All right. That sounds like a lot of good incentives to be donating for. But yeah, that boss is requires a bit of focus. So he has a pretty interesting hitbox where if you hit the top, he'll float up a level, as you saw me do at the start. And once you do that twice, he floats all the way up. You get to hit him with the spike again. Oh, that's a nice fall. All right, well, yeah, you hit him with the spike again. He goes all the way down, and you lose 15 seconds every time that happens. So that's why I kind of asked for quiet time. Did get the one cycle, though, so I'm kind of proud of that. Sadly, fell down here right after, but, you know, you win some, you lose some. It happens. But yeah, the main mechanic are those cogwheels, as well as the elevators over here. Or the... Is it elevator? What's the word for it? Conveyor belts, thanks. I'm having a fantastic day here. Don't worry about that. But yeah, this one has a possible walk of shame, which I'm really hoping not to take. There is a bit of a crusher coming up, and that crusher, if it hits you, you lose 25 whole seconds because Flat Wario goes down really slowly. And luckily we saved it because the setup is good. But you'd have to float all the way down here, which takes around 25 seconds instead of the usual 3, which is not the best. You hoping to hit this. All right. That's nice. So doing that platforming there saves about 3 to 6 seconds depending on where you fall. You'd have a conveyor belt all the way down there, and depending on where you fall, you'd have to run all the way over to get the ladder and go all the way back up that way. You don't really need it for the piece in normal mode, but you would need it for something like hard or S-hard, which we're not doing. Because A, I haven't started, and B, this category is the most popular and, in my opinion, more fun to run. Up next, Toxic Landfill, hoping to hit something here, and we did that. All right, that is a one-frame trick, one of the more interesting ones in the game. So the moment you spawn out of the portal, you have control over Wario for 1 frame to do an input. In most levels, it saves 12 frames to do the input for dashing, which just gives you more speed the moment you spawn out. This one, it makes it interesting because it makes the falling off the second platform there a lot easier. Oh, that's a bad one. That can happen. So I got my speed a bit too early. Getting full speed means you can break those blocks, and you know, it gets in the way sometimes since they're easily breakable and they don't stop you. Also, this is the first time you get to see Spring Wario. Meant to go all the way up there. We actually try and break only 1 line of blocks instead of 2. The reason for that is for every block you break, that's a tongue twister, you lose a single frame. It just takes a bit to, just has a bit of lag every time you break a block like that. Also, a bit of a shame you don't get to hear this theme. This theme is actually my favorite thing in the game because guitars are cool. And sadly, the song only takes off the room on the very final room. You get to hear it right before you hit the switch, unless you mess up. But we don't do that here. We only do that in very small doses. But yeah, Keezer's up here. It's very recognizable, the tile. And depending on where we land here, we'll see what the enemies do. So they landed the wrong way, but we got the grab. There's a small chance that they landed in a hole and you do 3 bounces off before you fall. It's a little frustrating. It's why positioning actually matters there. Also, this is the first time we see an enemy despawn, so the enemy goes off screen. However, its spawn point is still in your view, so the enemy just won't respawn. And this is Balloon Wario again. So not only bees, but also arrows turn you into balloon. I don't know how that works. Like, you'd expect after being stung that you wouldn't be a balloon anymore. I don't know how that works. All right, this is my work. I mean, 40 below fridge. So for those who don't know, I actually work in a cooled lab. That's just usually right below freezing. So I'd like to just refer to this as work. Luckily, you do have to put in a bit of work to get through this. There's a lot of cool little tricks. I kind of just want to show off this jump, though. Normally, I'd go around, but, you know, this jump is pretty cool. It's a nice little enemy jump, as many of them are. There's also a really tight cycler that I'm hoping to show off. And again, this is where Snowball Wario comes back. So again, BA for momentum. Ice physics are a thing. You usually don't really feel them unless you already messed up, in which case, you know, it happens. But yeah, Keezer's right here. We land on this guy to jump right on the platform as we need the extra height. Go all the way back over, go 1 up, go into the next room. And this room gives me 2 frames of error, so we'll see if we hit it. Ah, that was very close. So you can hit that snowball. It saves about 5 seconds because you don't have to wait for the second round of animation. And also big shoutouts to Resident for a small time save that's coming up here. So there will be a Yeti in our way. We used to just kind of work around his icy breath. You can just bounce off and jump on the fence like this. I don't know why nobody figured that out for all the years, but Resident just found that and saved everyone a big hassle in 2 seconds. So shoutouts to that. Shoutouts to Resident. But yeah, we're just rolling up very slowly. So Grumpmeister, take it away.
I must say, like, you work in some dangerous conditions at your lab, if it's anything like this. But in the meantime, I'd like to point out, like, hey, this free monthly Prime gaming subscription that you can use right here on the ESA channel, because you will get access to all of the ESA emotes, as well as several BSG emotes, and you get to support both events. So it's a win-win-win kind of deal right there.
Wait, emotes and event support for free?
Absolutely.
Free with your Amazon Prime TM?
Free with your Amazon Prime.
Unbelievable. What a steal.
You would be crazy not to do it.
I very much agree. But yeah, the 41 frames of RNG are coming up here. Hopefully we hit the ladder in the right way. If we do, the Yeti should go to the right, which he does. Very nice. So if he goes to the left twice, he freezes you. You get knocked to the side, you jump on the ladder, and everything is fine, and you lose 41 frames. It's sort of RNG, but not really. It just depends on which frame the screen gets loaded in. And up next, the longest level in the game, Pinball Zone. So the theme of this is you're basically in a pinball machine. You know, you're supplying the balls. You're just slowly going up the machine and then doing everything as you would. But yeah, every screen has four of these things. I don't know what to call them really. That you have to put the balls in. And once you hit all four, this block disappears, and you get to move on. Now, this level has seen a lot of routing changes as of late. There's a lot going on now in terms of like just tight jumps. So I'm hoping to hit this. A little quick grab right there as the ball's coming down. Get the piece, B dash off, dash, B dash, B dash. Miss the grump on, that's all right. We get to hit the cycle after. Get grump on, quick grab here, throw it in. It hits, which is very nice. Throw over, maybe quick grab. Oh, let's go. All right, that was a perfect screen. I'm actually really proud of that. This is, in my opinion, the hardest screen in the game. A very tight movement all around. This screen is a little less tight. You actually have to wait a little bit for that thing to open up so you can get the ball in with a super ground pound. This monkey you can just jump off of. If he hits you with an apple, you're turned into Fat Wario, meaning you have to walk very slowly for 15 seconds to lose weight, which is one of the worst time losses in the game. Yeah, another tight screen coming up. Like a lot of this level is just cycle based. You need to just know when it opens and when it closes and just work with that. Just learn the patterns as you go. Okay, a small visual discrepancy there. You could, in theory, make that cycle. I haven't really practiced it enough, and it's really tight on just the setup in general. That's a new one. All right. All right, did a small little quick grab there. That machine actually doesn't start to open and close before it's in your range. So by waiting a little bit, we actually got it out of range to just have it reset the cycle there, just to lose a single one instead of two. And here's the switch, and this is the other toughest room in the game. There's a really tight ground pound I'm hoping to make. So you want to break these two blocks, do a ground pound, walk back and forth, quick grab the ball, and then go to the next, and you do that twice. That saves 6 seconds when done optimally. It's surprisingly difficult for an easy jump. Also, I haven't even explained this. There's a small mechanic in this game where when you hold it left or right, as you're jumping, Wario reaches peak height faster. And we try to use that as much as possible. So you see me hold left and right here the whole time in order to get to the top faster. That's the thing with this game while learning it. Like, there's a lot of small things you get to implement in your run. Like, you get to do a ground pound on every fall. You get to do B dashes off the ceiling. And the more of that you implement, you'll just see your time go down as you learn it. Like, when I picked up this game, I did not expect to even come close to get world record. Like, I start off with a 101 or something. And then as I kept playing, you just start seeing the small things. You keep track of the details better. You just find the small tricks. And the more you play, you just realize you get good. You just see your time go down. You have no idea why that just happened. Yeah, very interesting little quick grab here.
So you're telling me that practice pays off?
I'm just saying get good. Luckily, if you put your time in, getting good becomes easier. So, in essence, yes. This is actually like a pretty solid pinball. Like, it's a very tough level, but once you start hitting all the cycles, it's pretty alright. And there it is, the longest level in the game. It's about a 10th or an 11th of the run, depending how good it goes. And here's the third to last boss, Cuckoo Condor. Has 2 phases. You've all seen a cuckoo clock, like back in the day, right? And much like any other, this one's very annoying. So this guy has 2 phases. First one, he has its claw, you stand underneath it. It goes down, you hit the claw, he gets hit. Oh, or you just miss the claw in the B input entirely. That can happen. But you see him try to frustrate you. If he grabs you, he carries you all the way to those saws on the left and the right. And if not, you're completely fine. It's been a while since I saw that. Yeah, this is what I mean. You can, in theory, mash out and be fine. And this is the second phase where you'll be spawning eggs, and we just hit him on the head with it. There's an interesting glitch you can play, but it's not really worth showing off as it loses like 6 seconds. But if you hit him twice within a certain time frame, he'll be locked in the herding animation and just fly around like a fool. Oh, he does spawn it on the rough. That's a bit rough. And there's the double leg to finish it off. And now on the technically the easiest, but also the hardest passage in a way, we have Emerald Passage. So this is the intended first passage you do. You'll see it on this level. This level is basically tutorial part 2. Now, there's an IL. This IL is probably the most contested. The top 3 is about 8 frames apart, with mine being one of the slowest. By, you know, just being 8 frames slower, which is a whole lot. But that's the thing with this game as well. Like, this seems fairly simple, but the more you apply your techniques, you'll see that even in a level like this, which is fairly straightforward, you can still save seconds by just knowing your stuff better. Also, landing that jump would have been nice, but you know, you win some, you lose some. But yeah, small gorilla jump here. Just jump off of the gorilla on the block so we don't have to activate it, and we just grab the keyser. But yeah, this level's very straightforward. There's just a lot of minor things going on. So on the way back, Gruntmeister, have you heard about this wonderful incentive for the run coming up in about probably like 20 minutes from now?
Oh, I have, and it's going to be crazy if we get that. Like the Fury mode for Muramasa Rebirth. You don't want to miss that one. It's Ishma is really looking forward to showing that one off. He's really excited for it. I'm seeing him in the crowd right there. He wants this. He wants this to happen.
Very excited all day in the practice room. Like, I can't wait to do Fury mode. Yeah. It's so good.
He keeps talking about it every moment that he walks by, and he's like, oh man, I hope I get to show off Fury mode. We're still quite a ways off though, so hopefully we'll be able to make it. We need to raise 326 euros at this point. So if you want to see Fury mode, if you want to see Ishma suffer, then you know what to do.
I mean, I've heard of those $5 trains before, but we can do €5 trains as well, right, chat? I believe in you. You should be able to do that.
We can definitely do a €5 train. Choo choo.
Choo choo indeed. Also, here's a dumb IL trick that I like showing off, hopefully. You can do a small enemy jump there. That setup is kind of difficult. I didn't expect to land that first try, but you know, it just happens. Normally you were supposed to go up all the way up on the vine and just do a ground pod all the way down, but you can just do an enemy jump with that gorilla. You want it to be all the way on the right, so it's even like, you have 2 pixels to do it even. That's one of the things with this game. Like, the more you go up the ladder on the leaderboard, the more you'll see just IL strats being implemented left, right, and center. And as of late, like ever since the MPU and Beko made both a practice hack and an IL hack, so just to have like an in-game timer for your time attacks, there's a lot of stuff that has been found over just the course of, what, a year? I think the sum of best of the top runners combined went from a high 45 to like a mid 44. It's pretty crazy what people are able to do. I believe Antlion as well made a compilation of all the ILs at some point with perfect resets and just showed off like how fast we could go about a year ago. And if you have some time on YouTube, like definitely go check that out. There are some crazy strats implemented that I wouldn't expect in a run for now. I say for now, as you don't know what the future holds. People can do crazy things with enough practice, as you've seen in some other runs today as well. I heard Nick did some pretty good stuff in the new Super Mario Bros. U run as well. Or Wii, my bad. So many new Super Mario Brothers and only 4 Wario Lands. What is this? Can't believe it. Nobody decided to put it on W for Wumbo. I don't know what happened. So this is an interesting one. I'm trying to line up Wario. So the way that one works is because I'm in the wall a little bit, Wario gets moved up a single pixel, and that single pixel is actually enough to land on the ledge right there. It's technically sort of a zip, I guess. Like it has the same properties to it because you kind of just abuse wall mechanics to go up. But it's technically not a zip. We just discount it because it's a single pixel and who cares. And up next is a level where I'm gonna use some quiet time for the first minute, so Grump.
Excellent timing, because we have gotten a few donations coming right in. Starting off with a €50 donation by Dominic. I'm going to butcher your last name. I'm so sorry. McElhiney? That one doesn't have any comment, but it did go to the incentive of naming Lucario Sniperwave.
Ooh.
€50, yeah. You can get some claps, definitely. Now, we also have a €25 donation by Estella Lumirice saying, "Hey Sniperwave, I'm really enjoying the run." And it is really a good run so far. I absolutely agree.
Yeah, this has been going pretty well. I'm not expecting a PB, but I wouldn't be surprised, as I said the same about derosting before I PB'd by 2 seconds, which almost became a 20-second PB.
And besides that, we also have a €5 donation by Sever, sitting a bit behind Sniperwave right now. Did someone say choo choo? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Let's make Ashma suffer.
That's I mean, I want to say that's fruit, but it's also kind of accurate, really. Like, I don't know if you've seen Fury mode before, but
it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
like, I thought this game was tough. I don't know. Oh, there it is. There's the outer pixel. So yeah, that's the outer two or three pixels where you just ignore grabbing the piece and dash off the box because it still has active collision. I was hoping to not see it, and then like in the last, what, 6 pieces in the game, we just get to see it. Fantastic. Yeah, we're just gonna take a secret route here. I don't think everyone knows about this one, but you can just roll underneath the level. And since there's no piece you miss, you just get to go all the way. Yeah, these moving platforms are really rough at times, which is why I kind of wanted the quiet time. Luckily, when I got quiet, Grump can talk, and speaking of, I'm gonna need some focus for this boss, because I'm using a very specific visual cue that I'd like to focus on, so
Alright, then I'll just take over for a little bit and just tell you all why we're doing this, like, and who we are. Like, because we are the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering. We organize bi-monthly gatherings in the Benelux for speedrunners, and we're currently streaming our annual event live from Hotel Asteria in Van Rij, the Netherlands. It's a great location, so if you're in the vicinity or you can drop by, make sure to do so. And we're currently raising money for Mind, which is a nationwide organization committed to prevent mental health issues and to support everyone who is dealing with mental issues themselves or within their family. All of your donations will go to Mind. So anything that you put towards making HMS suffer or any of the other naming incentives, it's going to a great cause. And I think
Thank you very
had your
much, bro.
silent time.
That was really nice. So there's a visual cue I use. I just really need to focus on it. So you saw Cracktus flash there. And what I do is I count to 7 flashes and then initiate the jump, meaning I just hit him on the earliest frame possible. Also, we're gonna have the secret salmon transformation because we really don't care about going upstream. If you hit your jump inputs right, you can just ignore the stream and just go over. It's kind of like the last hurdle of the game. And depending on how your inputs go, your speed can go fast. You can land in the pipe anywhere between 9:16 and 9:11 usually. 9:16 being the fastest recorded so far, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see anything better in the TAS. And speaking of the TAS, I would actually really like to make a shout out to Dino Node, who has a full-time job right now as a trucker, but has done a lot of work on the earlier half of the TAS at this point. It's practically done until Domino Roll. And man, those tricks, when it was made, it was about a minute faster, 20 minutes into the run compared to humans. So, you know, there's a lot of interesting things that the TAS can do that's just impossible for us at this point. One of those things was cap out though, so we kind of just saved 5 seconds by getting good. Oh yeah, this is Professor Scienstein. That's his actual name, by the way. You only see him in the bonus pipes, which are the purple pipes you've seen scattered throughout the run. He's not that useful. He's also in the very last level of the game, as he was the researcher trapped in the pyramid. You might have seen him in the intro. Yeah, Keys is all the way in the back, and you might have noticed that I'm missing a single piece. Now, that's what the final pipe is for, because it is on the way back here. So there's a bit of a bubble puzzle here that you usually have to go for. You can just get it on the way back anyway. Like, nobody's gonna mind. You know, we're just plundering a pyramid. What's the worst that can happen, right? Aside from going over estimate, but don't tell Zeta.
Especially not now.
I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, before we head into the final boss, there's a bit of a cutscene, and I do see that we have another donation, so go for it.
All right, indeed we do. We actually have 2 of them, just as you mentioned that. We first have a €5 donation from Satanic Nerd saying, choo choo, because the train keeps on coming. And we also
no brakes on this train.
No brakes, because we also have a €5 donation from Killer Chair for my buddy Ashma, because he really wants this to happen. And he does, like, you can see him in the crowd, like he's just laughing manically.
He's just laughing.
It's going to happen.
Grin from ear to ear. But yeah, this is the final boss of the game, Golden Diva. She has a few phases. Also, I don't know where that cat came from. I don't know. They might have been in the overworld, that cat. I don't know. Might be relevant to the story. I don't know. I skipped the cutscenes. But yeah, Golden Diva has a few phases. The first one being the wafer phase, in which case we just grab the mask the moment they stand still, throw them, and we just do that 4 times. Ah, I did not expect that. So missing one kind of just throws off the cycle and just positioning in general. But it's fine. It's only the final boss. It's not like I've choked multiple 47OX spaces here before or anything. Smile. Here's the second phase, though. She'll be throwing out different objects at you from phase to phase. Every time you hit her, she changes what she does. And this will go on for 2 cycles or 8 hits. Second off is Ball. After that is Egg. And after that, we have the Hammer. You might have noticed that they're all modeled after one of the bosses that we found earlier. We are just going to use the Hammer for the rest of the fight, though, hopefully. There's a cycle you can get in. I'm not really in the rhythm, I've noticed in practice, but you can just keep mashing with the Hammer and be fine. Double hit? Oh, very nice. And this is where she usually just mixes up. She just does them in pattern instead of randomly. Doing ground pound here to refresh the Hammer cooldown, as it does despawn after a while. Is this Crack Ball? That was Hammer. Alright, so we should be seeing Ball here. There it is. And this is the final phase of Diva, the true phase. She just ground pounds you. This phase ends either when everything is done, or she's had enough. And for the time coming up, final hit on the lips, and time. that felt pretty good. Can I know the time?
And yeah, you can. It's 48:57.
Ah, I did get the 48. Let's go. Every run. So I have a thing on stream where before I do runs, attempts, I try to finish a run. And 9 out of 10 times I hit the 48. So I'm really happy to show that off in the marathon as well, while going for some kind of insane strats that are kind of inconsistent.
Absolutely. This was a great run to watch.
And thanks everyone for showing up. You're all fantastic for being here. Even Ishma, who is doing nothing but grinning. I don't know how much is left, but it can't be much at this point.
Let me do a quick refresh for you, because I'm kind of curious as well. We're currently sitting at 214 out of the 500 necessary.
43.5 euros, and we have it.
Yeah, 43.5 euros. We can do this.
Also, before I leave, I would like to make a few shoutouts to Beko, MPU, Node, Andlion, Rezarun, Shasta, Dangerless, Green Bean, all for being runners of the game, teaching me a lot as I went through the process. Extra thanks to Dino Node for making the task progress, finding a lot of new strats doing that, and just being a general good person. And a special one to Shasta, because of Shasta motivating me to actually pick up this game. I saw it on his stream after I was looking for the new game. I was like, yeah, Wario Lands 4 is good. I should just do this. And now we're here, just almost on top of the board, getting ready to knock him back into 4th place. It's been a fantastic journey so far, and I'm really happy to showcase the game out here after about a year and a half of playing it. So thank you all for having me, and enjoy Muramasa in maybe Fury mode.
Thank you so much, Sniperwave. We're indeed going to set up Muramasa Rebirth right now, so stay tuned, enjoy some tunes, and there will be a few ads running. We'll be right back.